Hey there, Slayers! Welcome to Slaymasters, the best place for beauty, community, and self-expression. Today I'm going to share with you the steps that I take on a day-to-day basis to get frizz-free, bouncy, full, voluminous curls. And then I'm also going to share with you the steps that I take overnight to ensure that I wake up with those beautiful, amplified, frizz-free curls. So to get started, we're going to want to make sure that we have just a few items. First, we're going to start off with a wet brush and or a wide tooth comb. Whichever you're going to use to detangle is fine, but you're going to want to make sure that you are in the shower with your conditioner when you're detangling with one of these, and we'll talk a little bit more about that soon. You're going to also want to make sure that you have a clip handy, a microfiber towel. I like my Aquise towels. They are known for keeping your hair super healthy. You'd be surprised at the difference of your hair when you use an Aquise towel. You can also use an old t-shirt or something that's going to be soft in texture. Personally, I prefer that over a traditional towel. And then you're also going to want to have a few products. So product-wise, you're going to want a cream-based product. So I'm going to talk about the Turntable by R&Co. Get that to where you can see it. It is their defining curl cream. It's really cool. I like it. It gives some nice control, helps to control the frizz. If you want something a little bit lighter, you can go with a blowout balm. One of my favorites is the Satinwear by Redken. So that's going to be for lighter texture hair. If you have finer hair and you're worried about it being weighed down, you might want to use a blowout balm instead of a cream. You're going to also want to follow with a serum. As like with the creams, the serum is going to be dependent upon your hair type. So I really love the Omega Plus by Alterna. It is super nice. It's actually pretty light. It's kind of lightweight, middleweight, not too heavy, but you definitely still feel that there's a little something on the hair. Or you can also use like a Cream of Nature argan oil. This one I really love as well. It's going to be the one that I'm going to use today. Again, your serum, you want to make sure that it's the right serum for your hair type. Finer textures of hair, you're going to use lighter serum. Heavier, coarser textures of hair or curlier textures of hair, you're going to want something maybe a little bit heavier to help control that frizz. And then lastly, a bonnet. So I really enjoy using a satin bonnet because it helps to protect the hair from the friction of the pillow. So we'll talk about each of these a little bit more, but make sure that you have these handy as we go throughout our day-to-day steps. Okay, so here we are, freshly shampooed hair. A hot tip that I'd like to share is that I personally never detangle or brush my hair outside of the tub. So when I'm in there and I'm shampooing and conditioning my hair, that's when I go through and detangle my hair, especially if I'm going to wear it curly. If I'm going to blow dry it straight or flat iron it, maybe I'll brush it afterwards, but always tackle the heavy duty detangling in the shower. I put tons of conditioner and I go through with either my all-time favorite wet brush or a wide tooth comb. I used to use a wide tooth comb for a really long time because I thought that's all a curly girl could use until I realized that a wet brush is amazing for curly hair. The bristles are super soft and flexible, so it prevents your hair from being ripped through. It gives you a gentle detangle, but it really does get in there and help detangle. So while the conditioner is on, starting from the bottom of the hair, brushing and working your way up, detangle again in the shower with the conditioner. Once you rinse that conditioner off, what's really important is to make sure you're not disturbing the curls. So you're just rinsing, you're not brushing, you're not running your hands through, you're just rinsing and pushing the water and the conditioner out. I like to leave a little bit of conditioner, especially on the ends in my hair. If your hair is super fine and you're concerned about that, then give it a great clean rinse. So once again, here we are, shampooed and conditioned hair, and I have my all-time favorite Aquise towels. I love those towels because they really do make a difference in the curl. Anything that is going to prevent the hair from extra friction is something that you want to do. So whether you're using a t-shirt or microfiber towel, again, I love my Aquise towels. They're made to enhance the health of your hair. So I tend to use those whenever I can find them. If not, even just a nice soft t-shirt will do. So towel dried hair, and we're going to begin to apply our product. Again, you'll notice that I've said do not disrupt the curls, do not brush through the hair. We don't want to create any frizz. So be cautious as to how you're applying the product. Think about pushing the product in versus running the product through. And so I will begin by subdividing my hair. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that I am getting product all the way through my hair and not just on that top layer. Because then what happens is when it dries, I get this massive poof from underneath and frizz from underneath because the product wasn't evenly saturated. So today I'm going to use my Curl Define. Let's see if I can get it here. There we go. Turntable Curl Defining Cream. When it comes to product, I like to think of 2 easy steps: cream and serum. So for my curly days, got a little bit of cream. Again, pushing through, not running my fingers through the curls, but pushing into the hair. A little bit of cream. And then following with the serum. Any type of serum that you find that you like for your hair, go for it. I have a whole list of favorites that I like. Today I'm going to use the Cream of Nature, and it is a Cream of Nature argan oil with argan oil in it. And literally using maybe a dime size, really working it through my hands, and then again pushing it on the subsections of my hair. Now I'm going to work on the next section. And for my hair, I can divide it into 3 horizontal sections and then split each section in half, and that tends to work for me. So right above the ears, and again with the cream. And I'm using very little because I want the curls to be nice and full. I don't want them to be weighed down with product, but I do need enough that it's going to control the frizz. So again, pushing the product into the hair. That was enough for one side. So same thing on the other side. Just enough to push it into the hair, and you'll notice again I'm pushing. Not really working the fingers, running the fingers through. Nice on the edges, because those little bad boys get pretty frizzy. And then I'll come back with just a dab of oil. I'll put a little bit more. There we go, because I'm going to hit both sides this time. This will be enough for me to get both sides. And just work it through. I'm also staying away from the scalp. I hit the edges in the front because I really want to control the frizz, but for the most part, I don't apply too much to the scalp. Just because I don't want it to get too oily too soon. I want to be able to wear these curls for a couple of days. Then the last section is on the top. Again, divide that in half as well. Another cream option, if you have curly hair and it may be fine in texture and you want some nice body, try a blowout cream. One of my favorites, Satinwear by Redken. It's a nice smooth blowout cream. Anything that's made to control frizz as a cream-based product is going to work really nicely on your curls. But the nice thing about blowout creams is that they don't weigh the hair down because they're intended for you to blow it out smooth. So they create these products to be light enough to blow out the hair, but with some frizz control. And so if you put it in and just wear it as an air dry product, it works great. And so that's something I've been doing for a really long time. And it's interesting to see curly girls ask, what do you have in your hair? And then you tell them, Satinwear or another blowout balm. They're like, but you're not blowing it out. Nope, but it still controls the frizz and works really nicely and it's lightweight. All right, so I've pushed my cream and my oil into the hair. Now I am going to literally not touch it until it's dry. I am going to walk around with wet hair and I'm going to let it air dry. If I had somewhere to go and I needed to get this dry quickly, I could diffuse it. What I find personally is that if I do diffuse my hair, I get great body and the curls looks amazing, but it is a little bit more work the second day. So because I want to ensure that I wake up with beautiful curls, I'm going to let it dry naturally. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to fluff it. I'm going to let it be pretty flat the way it is until it's fully dry. Once it's fully dry, then I'll show you some zhuzhing techniques to get some extra oomph and body in the hair. All right, so we'll see you back here in a few hours once the hair is dry. Okay, so we're back. And my hair is completely dried. I've done my best not to touch it and put my fingers in it at all throughout the day so that it would just kind of naturally dry on its own and the curls would lock and it wouldn't be frizzy. And so now that it's fully dry, I can go through. I'd like to just kind of rouge it at the scalp. You notice I'm not running my fingers through it, but just sticking my fingers inside the scalp area and just massage the scalp, work the hair through. You notice I'm not running my fingers all the way to the ends. I'm just amplifying the scalp area, getting some air in there, kind of toss it back and forth. This will help to give me some body without, again, frizzing. The main thing is to not run your fingers through the ends. Just moving the hair around so that it doesn't look so flat to my head. And again, I waited until it was completely dry to do that to minimize frizz. And you can continue to massage the scalp and zhuzh the scalp until it is as full as you'd like it to be. One tip I will say, the fuller it is today, in my experience, the less amount of days you'll have through the week to be able to wear the curls. So if I leave it pretty much like this, then I'm going to get a good 2-3 day curl because of the next steps that I'm going to show you and how I maintain the curl overnight so that I can wake up with frizz-free, bouncy curls. All right, so let's move on to our next step. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to start my nighttime routine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie my hair up in a way that when I wake up in the morning, I'll be able to take it down and my curls will be nice and full and bouncy, and they won't have as much frizz as they would if I just went to sleep with it like this. So I'm going to begin with the super loose tie. Ideally, you can use a scrunchie, or if you're using a regular hair tie, make sure it's not too tight because you're not going to want it to really constrict the hair. So I'm going to begin by flipping my head upside down, gathering the curls to the top of the head. Now, I recently gave myself a haircut, so I've got a lot of short pieces that sometimes don't reach. The longer the hair, the easier. If it's shorter, you may find yourself doing more than one pony. But you're going to literally put your hair gathered the very top of your head. And I'm only going to wrap this twice because I want it to be super loose. You could also just do it once if you're able to maintain that ponytail on the top of the head with just one wrap. Also, remember, we're going to follow with our satin cap. So now that I have the ponytail on the top of my head, and the reason for that is because when I sleep, anything that gets roughed up will be back here and not the curls that I've secured on the top of my head. Now I will gently gather the ponytail and put it into my satin cap. So I'm just going to lean my hair forward and let the curls fall in to the cap. Shake it around a little bit, make sure they're all in there. All right. There we go. Now I'm ready to go wash my face, brush my teeth, and go to sleep. Good morning. Okay, so recap. We shampooed, we detangled, we layered in our product and air dried throughout the day. We ended with some awesome rock and roll curls. And then we did our evening prep, went to sleep. So now for the big reveal. Ta-da! So this is how I keep my curls fresh for the morning. And then this is what we wake up with. And if for any reason I want to touch up any part of my hair, I can sprinkle some water on my hands. You can use a spray bottle, but I honestly prefer sprinkling water on my hands, working it through. I also love a great leave-in treatment. This one is Cream of Nature. Also with the argan oil, it's their Perfect 7. And so just a little mist. I mean, the curls look amazing to me right now, but the edges can kind of smooth some of that away, some of that frizz and fly away. But they're super bouncy, still really controlled, not much frizz defined, I think. Ready for me to go and get my day started. All right, so there you have it. Those are the steps I take to make sure that I wake up with frizz-free, bouncy, beautiful, voluminous curls. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you join our community, sign up for our newsletter, and subscribe down below. All right, go slay.